Hey everybody, and welcome to my N5 series in the SP404 Mark II, where I cover a topic in about 5 minutes. This is session 14.16, and today we're covering the final effect in the input effects, which is the compressor. We've already seen a compressor in a couple other previous, well, I guess we definitely saw it in the 303 vinyl sim, where you could adjust the amount of the effect, but you didn't really have any control over anything else, and you kind of got what you got for a compressor on the 404 vinyl sim. There was not anything that you could, it was just there if you turned it on. In this case, for this compressor, we have sustain, which allows us to affect how long the effect is applied to a sound that's decaying. So if you're familiar with like an 808 hit, like those drum kicks, they would usually fade off pretty quick, but with a compressor with a sustain set, you could really carry those sounds out and just keep the volume up and pegged. The attack is adjusting kind of how it's seeing the volume and how high an input level is required for it to detect that the compressor should kind of kick in and then sustain the volume. And then the ratio is the compression ratio. If you're not familiar with it, it's kind of the adjustment for how heavy-handed or how light-handed it's going to apply overall to your signals. I don't have the time to kind of get into it in one of these 5-minute sessions. So, there's tons of great videos out there on compression. So if you want to learn more, go dig into it. And then as kind of a traditional where we've seen a lot of these, we've got level, which compression is something where you can really make your sound super loud, and the level's a good way to bring that down and settle things in your mix. So let's just kind of see if we can get anything going here. Maybe we can slow this down, make it a little bit easier to hear. So we've got these notes now that I've slowed this down, that they're playing and they're kind of sustaining. And if we set the ratio real high, set the attack, set the sustain high, it's going to make it so that we have, I'm going to turn this down just so it's easier to hear me talking. So I've set the sustain high, I've set the ratio high. I dropped the attack down just so it's catching more, making sure it's catching the events. What it's doing now is it's really sustaining those notes out when they're playing so that they're playing louder. And you're removing your dynamic range. You're not getting like those subtle notes where you kind of, it just sounds like it's fuller volume all the time. So I don't know if I have much more to kind of show you for the compressor, but again, like adjust your attack for kind of where you want to catch some of your notes. Adjust your sustain for how long you want it to hold the notes, and your ratio is going to be adjusting kind of how much volume you have for everything all the time. Anyway, I hope that helps you guys out. I don't feel like I've done a really great job explaining compression, but it's here, gives you a little bit more control over things than compared to what you get in the 303 and the 404, and it is a pretty helpful effect. Anyway, take it easy, guys. Keep making beats. Keep having fun. Peace.